Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The region of the angle formed by the junction of two branches. They took the South Fork. Lift with a pitchfork. Pitchfork hay. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. The road forks. The angle formed by the inner sides of the legs where they join the human trunk. The act of branching out or dividing into branches. An agricultural tool used for lifting or digging. Has a handle and metal prongs. Cutlery used for serving and eating food. Place under attack with one's own pieces, of two enemy pieces. Shape like a fork. She forked her fingers. The region of the angle formed by the junction of two branches. He climbed into the crotch of a tree. External sex organ. The angle formed by the inner sides of the legs where they join the human trunk. Lift with a pitchfork. Pitchfork hay. A long-handled hand tool with sharp, widely spaced prongs for lifting and pitching hay. A part of a forked or branching shape. He broke off one of the branches. Any projection that is thought to resemble a human arm. A branch of the sewer. Grow and send out branches or branch-like structures. A natural consequence of development. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. A division of some larger or more complex organization. A branch of Congress. A division of a stem, or secondary stem arising from the main stem of a plant. A stream or river connected to a larger one. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. Grow and send out branches or branch-like structures. These plants ramify early and get to be very large. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. Have or develop complicating consequences. These actions will ramify. Treat differently on the basis of sex or race. Act as a barrier between. Stand between. Have the connection undone, having become separate. Arrange or order by classes or categories. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Separate into parts or portions. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The couple separated after 25 years of marriage. Force, take, or pull apart. He separated the fighting children. Divide into two or more branches so as to form a fork. Make a division or separation. Go one's own way. Move apart. The friends separated after the party. Standing apart. Not attached to or supported by anything. A house with a separate garage. Mark as different. Come apart. The two pieces that we had glued separated. A separately printed article that originally appeared in a larger publication. A garment that can be purchased separately and worn in combinations with other garments. Divide into components or constituents. Independent. Not united or joint. A problem consisting of two separate issues. Separated according to race, sex, class, or religion. separate but equal. Having branches. The act of branching out or dividing into branches. Resembling the branches of a tree. The place where something divides into branches. The act of branching out or dividing into branches. A part of a forked or branching shape. A development that complicates a situation. The court's decision had many unforeseen ramifications. The act of branching out or dividing into branches. An arrangement of branching parts. A part of a forked or branching shape. A prosthesis that replaces a missing leg. A section or portion of a journey or course. A cloth covering consisting of the part of a pair of trousers that covers a person's leg. A human limb. Commonly used to refer to a whole limb but technically only the part of the limb between the knee and ankle. A structure in animals that is similar to a human leg and used for locomotion. Nautical. The distance traveled by a sailing vessel on a single tack. One of the supports for a piece of furniture. The limb of an animal used for food. Lifting device consisting of a platform or cage that is raised and lowered mechanically in a vertical shaft in order to move people from one floor to another in a building. Raise or haul up with or as if with mechanical help. The act of raising something. He responded with a lift of his eyebrow. Fly people or goods to or from places not accessible by other means. Food is airlifted into Bosnia. Invigorate or heighten. Lift my spirits. Make off with belongings of others. Transportation of people or goods by air, especially when other means of access are unavailable. Rise up. Cancel officially. Lift an embargo. Perform cosmetic surgery on someone's face. Take illegally. A wave that lifts the surface of the water or ground. Put an end to. Lift a ban. Plastic surgery to remove wrinkles and other signs of aging from your face. An incision is made near the hairline and skin is pulled back and excess tissue is excised. Some actresses have more than one facelift. The event of something being raised upward. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Move upwards. Lift one's eyes. Take without referencing from someone else's writing or speech, of intellectual property. The component of the aerodynamic forces acting on an airfoil that opposes gravity. Move upward. The fog lifted. Raise in rank or condition. The new law lifted many people from poverty. A powered conveyance that carries skiers up a hill. A device worn in a shoe or boot to make the wearer look taller or to correct a shortened leg. A ride in a car. He gave me a lift home. Call to stop the hunt or to retire, as of hunting dogs. Make audible. He lifted a war whoop. One of the layers forming the heel of a shoe or boot. Pay off, a mortgage. Remove from a seedbed or from a nursery. Lift the tulip bulbs. Remove from a surface. The detective carefully lifted some fingerprints from the table. Remove hair by scalping. Rise upward, as from pressure or moisture. The floor is lifting slowly. Take hold of something and move it to a different location. Lift the box onto the table. Take off or away by decreasing. Lift the pressure. Take root crops out of the ground. Lift potatoes. The act of giving temporary assistance. Be at variance with, be out of line with. Extend in a different direction. The lines start to diverge here. Have no limits as a mathematical series. Move or draw apart. The two paths diverge here. A biased way of looking at or presenting something. Seek indirectly. Present with a bias. To incline or bend from a vertical position. A member of a Germanic people who conquered England and merged with the Saxons and Jutes to become Anglo-Saxons. Fish with a hook. Move or proceed at an angle. He angled his way into the room. The space between two lines or planes that intersect. The inclination of one line to another, measured in degrees or radians. A group of ships of similar type. One of the portions into which something is regarded as divided and which together constitute a whole. The BBC's engineering division. The act of dividing or partitioning. Separation by the creation of a boundary that divides or keeps apart. Discord that splits a group. A league ranked by quality. A unit of the United States Air Force usually comprising 2 or more wings. An administrative unit in government or business. An arithmetic operation that is the inverse of multiplication. The quotient of two numbers is computed. An army unit large enough to sustain combat. 2 infantry divisions were held in reserve. Biology. A group of organisms forming a subdivision of a larger category. Botany. Taxonomic unit of plants corresponding to a phylum. The act or process of dividing. Ride in a car with no particular goal and just for the pleasure of it. We tooled down the street. The means whereby some act is accomplished. Science has given us new tools to fight disease. A person who is controlled by others and is used to perform unpleasant or dishonest tasks for someone else. Obscene terms for penis. An implement used in the practice of a vocation. Drive. The convertible tooled down the street. Furnish with tools. Work with a tool. Tableware implements for cutting and eating food. A cutting implement. A tool for cutting. Tableware implements for cutting and eating food. Take the initiative and go on the offensive. Ideas or actions intended to deal with a problem or situation. An attack on inflation. Attack in speech or writing. The editors of the left-leaning paper attacked the new House Speaker. Military. An offensive against an enemy, using weapons. The attack began at dawn. Take the initiative and go on the offensive. The Serbs attacked the village at night. A decisive manner of beginning a musical tone or phrase. Intense adverse criticism. The government has come under attack. Launch an attack or assault on. Begin hostilities or start warfare with. Hitler attacked Poland on September 1, 1939 and started World War II. Attack someone physically or emotionally. The act of attacking. Attacks on women increased last year. An offensive move in a sport or game. They won the game with a 10-hit attack in the 9th inning. A sudden occurrence of an uncontrollable condition. An attack of diarrhea. Begin to injure. The cancer cells are attacking his liver. Set to work upon. Turn one's energies vigorously to a task. I attacked the problem as soon as I got out of bed. Strong criticism. He published an unexpected attack on my work. The onset of a corrosive or destructive process, as by a chemical agent. The film was sensitive to attack by acids. The visual appearance of something or someone. A perceptual structure. The composition presents problems for students of musical form. The phonological or orthographic sound or appearance of a word that can be used to describe or identify something. The inflected forms of a word can be represented by a stem in a list of inflections to be attached. Make something, usually for a specific function. Any spatial attributes, especially as defined by outline. Establish or impress firmly in the mind. A body of students who are taught together. Create, as an entity. Social groups form everywhere. Biology. A group of organisms within a species that differ in trivial ways from similar groups. A category of things distinguished by some common characteristic or quality. Sculpture as a form of art. A life-size dummy used to display clothes. Develop into a distinctive entity. Alternative names for the body of a human being. The spatial arrangement of something is distinct from its substance. To compose or represent. This wall forms the background of the stage setting. Give shape or form to. Form the young child's character. Physical chemistry. A distinct state of matter in a system. Matter that is identical in chemical composition and physical state and separated from other material by the phase boundary. A mold for setting concrete. They built elaborate forms for pouring the foundation. An ability to perform well. He was at the top of his form. An arrangement of the elements in a composition or discourse. The essay was in the form of a dialogue. A particular mode in which something is manifested. His resentment took the form of extreme hostility. A printed document with spaces in which to write. He filled out his tax form. Assume a form or shape. The water formed little beads. The visual appearance of something or someone. A perceptual structure. Make something, usually for a specific function. Shape a figure. A concrete representation of an otherwise nebulous concept. Any spatial attributes, especially as defined by outline. He could barely make out their shapes. The state of good health, especially in the phrases in condition, or in shape, or out of condition, or out of shape. shape or influence, give direction to. Alternative names for the body of a human being. The spatial arrangement of something is distinct from its substance. Geometry is the mathematical science of shape. The supreme headquarters that advises NATO on military matters and oversees all aspects of the Allied Command Europe. Give shape or form to. Shape the dough. Understand, usually after some initial difficulty. A small branch or division of a branch, especially a terminal division, usually applied to branches of the current or preceding year. Branch out in a twig-like manner. The lightning bolt twigged in several directions. Branch out like trees. Branch out like trees. Nerve fibers arborize. Resembling a fork, divided or separated into two branches. Divide into two branches. The road bifurcated. Split or divide into two. Divide into three. The road trifurcates at the bridge. The act of splitting into three branches. A bifurcating branch, one or both of them. The act of splitting into two branches. The place where something divides into two branches. Branching at a wide angle. Act or process of forming fibrils. Muscular twitching involving individual muscle fibers acting without coordination.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.